Greetings from home. This day has created a new vibration in a new way. And you are all acclimating yourself to it in a new way. For you have opportunities that you have not had before. It is an opportunity for you to change your perceptions, for you to shift your energy and look in a different way. You all seem to be healers in some way. Most of you have helped others to go back and find the origin of their problems. It is very simple. Most of it happens in childhood or even in adolescence. It's very easy to scar a human psyche in those times. For you are building yourself. You are getting to know yourself. So many of you have discovered ways of coming back and returning to what your original intent was during those times of misdirection. Why would you misdirect yourself, or why would someone do that? Well, certainly it is not done intentionally. However, it is done with knowledge. For what takes place is you come along, you see an open door, it's got a nice name on the door, the handle looks very inviting, so you open it up and you simply step forward. You go, this feels good for now, I will go forward. Well, humans are exactly that. You are adapters. You step into something, and rather than say, oh, this doesn't feel good, you adapt yourselves. And pretty soon, you're adapting everything around. You go, okay, I have it to where it feels comfortable now. But what you don't always realize is that sometimes takes a tremendous amount of energy from you. Makes it more difficult in many aspects. So, what would it take to take you back to the child? What would it take to remember that perspective? Of course, your life has changed. You have evolved greatly. We don't expect you to go back to who you were or even pretend to be that. But what you will find is that you have an opportunity to remember what your perception was when you first created that. When you first took that sidestep, when you first opened a new door and decided to go through it. Suddenly you find yourself way down the hallway, very invested in your journey and your travel, far too invested to turn around and go back. And you are adapting. You're adapting everything. Oh, this isn't what I expected, so I will adapt it. I will harmonize it. Well, you are getting very good at that. Now, what about remembering where you were originally going and what your original intent was? That is one of the key pieces that will help all of you to return to this. You are the greatest beings that have ever walked the earth. Do not doubt that ever. You can turn around and look behind you at the generations, even within your own family, that have gone before you. And you can see how the vibrational levels have risen over all of humanity as you have evolved. It is grand indeed. It is beyond your understanding that we celebrate that evolution on the other side all of the time. But that is our intent for you, to watch you evolve to where you can actually perceive us without the channels. You can hear us all in your own heart. And that is coming for each and every one of you, doubt it not. It is absolutely what you have asked for, and there is only one answer to what God asks for, and so it is. Very simple. Whatever it is you decide, you harmonize whatever is out there, and it creates in a new way. Now that I have laid that out for you, I'd like to take you a little further into a field that you call quantum mechanics or quantum physics. Quantum physics is simply the understanding of the inner workings inside of the atom, the smaller pieces of your universe, if you will. And of course, the unified field theory would be that all the things that act within the atom also act throughout the universe. And the rules are basically the same. Well, everyone knows the unified field is there, but none have been able to prove it thus far. It would have been Einstein's greatest achievement had he stuck around long enough. He left a little early, as it was. But this was his dream, for he knew it in his heart. And yet he was never able to quite prove that part of it. Yes, the theory of relativity was leading in that direction and opening the door to it, but he did not complete his work. You are completing his work. For you are now starting to act as if you are also by the same rules that are in quantum mechanics. This is new to you, for most of you still do not quite understand quantum mechanics or how it works. So let me simply give you an easy illustration. You are looking at the keeper currently on the stage. You are seeing flowers. You are seeing a table. Yes, you are seeing his iced tea, which you are not supposed to see. So I will put that over there. But you are seeing all the things that you are perceiving in your world. So you believe that all the atoms are in arrangement to give you that view. And we tell you they are. But more than that, there is so much more going on up here at this moment. You are only seeing less than a tenth of the movement and the energy that is on this stage. So how is that, and why would I need to know that? How could I possibly use that? Well, let us explain. Much like a television set, you would go to a television set and you would find a program or a channel, if you wish. Oh, yes, we love that word channel now. Back in the days when the keeper was first using it, it was a very scary word. Today it is very comfortable. So you would change your channel and you would find your channel that you would focus on and that you would watch. And then you would change the channel and it would think nothing of you that the table and the plants and everything that you were just watching changed. In fact, you got very comfortable with the fact that you could change realities very, very quickly, did you not? Very interesting process. Actually, that entire invention was done so that you could get comfortable with changing your reality. We told you you have been in a multidimensional world all along. You have been living split up into 12 dimensions. 11 of which are identical in most ways. You vary less than 1% of yourself from dimension to dimension. And you have 11 of those dimensions that are active. And one dimension that we simply call the 12th dimension, or the higher self, if you will, that ties all of those 11 dimensions together as one, and also keeps them in constant communication with home, with your connection from which you came. Those are the 12 dimensions that you have been working with. You have only landed and can, when you perceive something, when you open your eyes send out an energy that says, everyone, you are being watched. And in that moment, the atoms arrange themselves to what you are expecting to see. Now, how could that be? Do I think that I am God and that all these atoms are simply going to be constantly rearranging themselves just for my benefit? No. They are constantly rearranging themselves for each one of you. And when you create something together is when two people look at the objects and filter out the same and see the same thing. Now you have validated each other energetically. And once that validation takes place, it all comes into what you call reality. At that moment, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can taste it. It enters your world. These are the ways that you have silently been creating your world. But it is also important for you to know that wherever you look, whatever you gaze upon, these are incredible creation machines, dear ones. Be careful where you point them. For what you are expecting to see will show up. Your eyes will filter and send out an energy that will say you are being watched. And all of a sudden they will take the form that you are expecting to see. So that places you in a rather precarious position, does it not? For you are coming face to face with your own creation abilities. Where does that place you? As a walking God? As someone who can change their world at a moment's notice while walking down the street? Yes, that is exactly where it places you. You are awakening from the dream. You are starting to realize that even though you have perceived something and it has order, and it is in perfect order all the way down, that is reality. And that could not be further from reality. That is your reality in that moment, for you have called it into being. And if it is a shared reality, and many of you are sharing it, it gains strength in that form. And it holds that form for a time. This is how you have created all of your worlds. And now that you have unlocked some of the visions inside of the atom, and started to bring your sciences on board, you will find that your spirituality and your sciences are saying the same thing, which has been happening on Earth. Now that we have you all on the same page, it is starting to take place in a new way. You'll find that your heart knows the way. It's the only part. So many of you spend time thinking. Think about it for a moment. See, even the word triggers your thoughts. Well, your thoughts have worked throughout planet Earth. You need your thoughts in order to survive. You need your thoughts in order to recreate with other beings as well. But most of the time, your thoughts are aimed around creating your heart's desire. It is the strangest thing to watch from here. For we watch humans as they grow up, as they start to become aware of themselves and start to improve themselves. And all of the improvement that you do when you go to school has to do with the head. You don't even open the heart, most of you, until your 30s or 40s. And by then, very little structure is in place to train you how to use this in place of this. So these are the big balances that you are now starting to deal with on a daily basis. How do I focus the energy of my heart? How can I create exactly where I intend to go instead of what I was thinking? Do I have to stop and think it all through and write it all down and plan it all out? Yes, you can do that, for you are creators. You can create in many different ways. Is it necessary? No, it is not. The clarity of your emotions is what creates everything for you. It is your heart. So what most of you do, you grow up as children and you discover something that you love to do. It's one of the things that you can't wait to do, no matter what it is, whether it's painting or whether it's playing or whether it's making music or sound or whatever it is. And you focus on that, and you play with that, and then you go to school and you learn. And you learn how to add and subtract and do all the rest. And it works for most of you. About 86% of humans on Earth can actually learn from the schools. The other parts simply cannot. They learn in a different way. You are starting to understand spatial learners. You are starting to understand the new breed of people in many ways. But they are not new. And what is taking place is that now you will start to understand many of the things that you have called illnesses. One of them on planet Earth was intentionally placed here and has been here since the very beginning of what you would call time. I have all the time jokes, for I am the keeper of time. I am the one who does that, and I will joke about time all you like. But believe me when I say I've heard them all. So what about time? What about this? Well, what takes place as a human, you get your focus, and then you get serious about life. And you go to school, and you gain your knowledges or your degrees or your diplomas or whatever it is you are after. And you gain your confidence and you step out into the world. And you start to create your life. And you start to find happiness and dishappiness and confusion, all the rest of it, which is a normal process for each one of you. All the time forgetting what your original focus was as the child. It is the reason the child needs to return. For the child held the focus in the beginning of where you were going before you started taking all these side doors which you have so magically created for yourself. Very well done. Very well done. But now, where are you? Well, most of you are like 12 buildings down. You have worked your way through your successes very well. But are you happy? For that is the question, is it not? And if not, why? For that is the bigger question. All of your journeys were intended to bring you happiness of the heart. And we tell you that in the lower vibrations of planet Earth, it has been quite common for you to be sidetracked and spend your entire life over there, which is no problem, for even a small sampling of your passion could last a very, very long time. And you were able to do it quite well. You were pretending to be humans. Good job. But now everything has changed. You have already stepped up. You are waiting for this wave of energy that is coming in on the 12-12-12. We tell you, you are in the midst of it right now. It's simply coming in at an incredible rate, but you are already feeling the change. You have already landed in the new earth. It is time to start building your creations, your heart's desire, your blueprints of where you truly want to be consciously, as a conscious creator, blending the head and the heart. But that is the difficult part. Now, since I am the keeper of time, I wish to speak with you for a moment about your illusions of time, what they are and how you can work with them in a slightly different way. First of all, we have spoken quite a bit lately, for humans simply need to know that time is circular in nature. And that circular time has always been your way. Now, what does that mean exactly? How does time go in a circle? Well, simply stretch it out and look at it on the larger perspective. For it is simply to say that if you have something that has happened to you, and you have hidden it from yourself, we'll simply call it scar tissue. It could be an emotional experience. It could have been anything. But you have this scar tissue which you are not dealing with, and you hide it from yourself. You simply say, it'll go away. It'll stop bothering me in no time. It's no problem. I'll just pretend it's not there and go on with my life. And this happens to most humans. And what takes place is you build these spaces between you and your heart. With this quite often, and finding your way back again is very challenging. So, we will give you an idea. We will give you a very simple connection. It is something we are working on in the course that the Keeper calls the Light Master course. So I will break his rules and share this with you here as well. For he likes to keep this into this course and this into this course, and we do not care. So that is important. What I will tell you is very simple. The time that you are working with in what you call your future can be completely controlled by dealing with your past. It is a circle. Unless you clear up and reconcile the things that have happened in your past, they simply come back around to become the fabric of your future. Creating the same mistakes over and over. Have you ever caught yourself doing that? It is actually human nature to create the same mistakes over and over because you are treading on the same foundation that you did not clear up when you had an issue. So that is called circular time. That is a very easy imprint to remember. And to remember that we can all look at our past and know in a moment what is clear and what is not. Only you can do that with yourself. No one else can do that. But look at those areas right now. Does it mean you have to go back and completely reconcile? No, it does not. What it means is that you must reconcile it with yourself. For that path must be clear. That is your future. That is what is rolling out in front of you at this moment. So clear it up, do what you can. But I'm also going to give you today the idea of the time imprint. It is one of the areas of study that I am starting to lead people through. So I will simply say that a time imprint is the now. If you would consider yourself a ball, let's just call you a crystal ball, and you are coming to have an exciting journey on earth for a time while you will pretend to be finite and you will pretend to be a human in a physical bubble of biology. So you come here and you make an imprint with your essence in the fabric of what is called time. That imprint can be nurtured. That imprint can be made perfect. Imagine yourself out in the snow. The snow is very deep and you have on boots. And you have walked across a long pathway. Now you are there and you turn around and you look back and you can see that some of the imprints of your boots are perfect. And other ones you started to lose your balance. And sometimes you have a little spread and a little bit of imperfection around your imprints of your footprints in the snow. That is very similar to a time imprint. But the time imprint is only in the now. For you humans have broken time into three parts that do not exist. That is the past, present, and the future. Of them, only one of them is real, for the future is just a potential, and the past is only a memory. You only have what is in essence right now, and that is a time imprint. There will come a time when you are now reaching each other, you are shaking each other's hands. How are you doing? And you go, I'm fine, as if we cared. And there will come a time when you will come up to another, how's your time imprint today? Can I help you with that in some way? And you all find ways of working with your imprint of time. Why is that so important? Because it is all that you have. It is what you own right now. It is your legacy right in this moment. So, you do things many times to prolong the moment. You drink, you smoke, you do all sorts of things to expand your consciousness, you say, which in fact only tends to put you more in the now, does it not? Would you like us to tell you one of the greatest things that all humans do, that put them in the now, in that very moment, and tend to last for a while? It's called an orgasm. Most of you have had them. We hope all of you have had them several times. If not, go play with them. They're fun. But the whole idea is that in that moment, you are not thinking about the future, are you? You're not thinking about the past. You're not worried about anything. You're in the now, and your time imprint is perfect. So that's what we ask you to do. Start becoming aware of your new energies. And instead of worrying how I look every day, is my makeup in place? Am I perfect for the world? How is your time imprint? How are you enjoying life? What can you do to make the perfect footprint in the snow? That is the idea. Each and every one of you have journeyed this way. We tell you, dear ones, you are more loved than you could ever know. You are some of the greatest angels that have ever lived anywhere. You have been congealed. You have been called throughout all of the universe. This call went out almost 800 years ago. For you had to be in place. You had to have your lifetimes. You had to have your experiences on earth. You had to have your failures, as you call them. But you are here now. And there is a new time imprint that is happening. For it is not just alone on each individual. You also make collective time imprints like you are right now. We tell you that every heart in this room is beating in harmony right now. Take that feeling. Take it out from here and wear it on your face in the form of a smile for the rest of the day, for you know who you are. You have been reminded where you come from. And we hope we have reminded you of your own heart as a child. Play well, dear ones. And above all, enjoy the journey. It is beyond your understanding, but we are incredibly grateful that you are in place to make this transition. It's with the greatest of honor that we ask you to treat each other with respect. Nurture one another at every opportunity and play well together. I am the keeper of time. I do apologize for that. I would have announced it if I would have known the Keeper of Time was coming in. Normally we channel the group. They have recently started to